What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. If it looks like we're wearing the same clothes as the last 2 days, we are not. It's all an illusion, Michael. Today we're back. Another Diamond Joe Quimby question. The big Q. Today we're focusing on the Brontosaurus. Brent Burns, a new thing I'm calling him, the Brontosaurus. I don't know why. It's just funny to me. We're focusing on Brent Burns, and we have an interesting one because it's a question we could have asked for the last 3 seasons, but it keeps happening. So we'll be diving into the riddle wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in a vest that is Brent Burns.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm your host, Kyle Demetrius. Back with me as always is co-host JD, the Italian sub to my roast beef and cheese.
You're still thinking about Jersey Mike's, aren't you?
Oh, I had Jersey Mike's for the first time. Yeah, people know that. I went to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they do know that. Jersey Mike's, life-altering.
My wife does not like it.
Divorce her, I told you this. Grounds, the judge will understand. Your kids will have a better life for it. Be like, listen, mommy and daddy don't love each other because mommy is stupid, is how you should frame it to them. Jersey Mike's was amazing. I didn't realize that they cut the meats right there in front of you. Really hard choice. It was like 15 Canadian degrees outside. I don't know what that is in American. It's probably something stupid like 4,000. So it was like kind of warm. So we didn't know if we should go for the grilled, like the cheesesteak, even though everybody said their cheesesteaks are amazing. There was one called the Big Kahuna, which has like onions and peppers and mushrooms and stuff on it, and it looked really good. But it's kind of warm out. We've never been to Jersey Mike's. We went for the classic sub, and I got the Italian club, which is what apparently your fave is. Yep. I got it made Mike's way.
Yep,
it sounded fun to say, to tell the guy. They have that weird Mike's sauce, which I think is just like red wine vinegar and balsamic or something.
Yep.
But the bread, fresh lettuce. It's the good kind of lettuce, not the shitty like Subway or McDonald's lettuce where it's kind of limp. Very crispy, very shredded. Everything was great. I really liked it, and I got a homemade pop. It was some sort of root beer.
Nice,
but it was craft root beer or something out of the fountain. I just couldn't bring myself to drink Mountain Dew. I haven't had Mountain Dew in so long, and just American
real Mountain
Dew.
Yeah,
our Mountain Dew's even different. I just couldn't do it. But anyway, Jersey Mike's awesome. The question today.
Just as a hard transition. How many Jersey Mike's can Brent Burns put down in one sitting?
He doesn't chew. He swallows more like a duck.
Yes.
No, the question today, can Brent Burns keep defeating Father Time?
I was going to keep punching Father Time in the dick.
Yeah, right. Right now, he's got Father Time in the figure 4, but the Father Time's about to reverse that figure 4.
Yeah, he's reaching for the chair off to the side.
It's coming. The brass knucks and the tights. Yeah, it's coming. Brent Burns is 36 years old.
37.
No, not yet.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yes, he's 37 years old in 58 days. It makes no sense that he put up 54 points last year, which is his best season since his 83-point performance in 2018-19. Obviously much down going backwards. He had 83, 67, 76, 75, 60. He had 48 and 69, 20 and 30, which is absurd. So one of his better seasons on offense, I think, is the big caveat here. As JD did some research into other guys at his age, and the list is shocking and appalling as to
good way.
In a good way. But the big difference here is that I think a lot of those guys were very effective on defense, and Brent Burns' defense is just not.
It's okay.
Not cutting it.
It's okay.
And for a guy that plays 400 minutes a game, his average time on ice this year, do you know what it is?
It's like 26, 27 minutes. Yeah.
26 minutes and 9 seconds. He's actually 1 second more than last year. It's the most. It's the most average ice time he's played since ever.
Yeah,
it's his highest.
Yep.
That's insane.
He played the most amount of minutes this year he's ever played in his career. it's insane what he's doing at his age. If we pull up his fancy card from Evolving Wild, so still 80 percentile in offense. Like, again, he's driving offense on a terrible, terrible team. So if he actually played like a decent team, his counting stats would be much improved. His defense, 42 percentile. So it's okay. You know, it's nothing like he's never been known for being a stalwart defenseman. It's above league average, et cetera, et cetera. Like, it's not great, but again, I think with his value has always been his offense, and he's still driving offense right now, which is, again, insane what he's doing on it.
He finished. Where do you think he finished in defensive scoring this year?
12th.
Wow, how did you get that?
I just guessed.
He nailed it. 12th. So the guys above him, Josie had 96, which is just insane. Makar had 86. Victor Hedman 85. Fox 74. John Carlson 71. Chris Letang 68. Morgan Riley 68. Quinn Hughes 68. Aaron Ekblad 57. Devon Tays 57. Charlie McAvoy 56. And then we get Brent Burns at 54. And right behind him was Rasmus Dahlin, Shea Theodore, Shane Goss-Spared, Noah Dobson, Anthony D'Angelo, Seth Jones, Moritz Seider, Rasmus Anderson are all above 50. 12th in scoring.
Yeah.
Quite good.
Quite good on, again, a team that can't score goals. I think where were the Sharks, like 26th, 27th or something like that in actual like goals scored. So he's providing a big chunk of that offense. And I mean, everybody, I think, except for Hughes was a playoff caliber team. And on that list there. And then Quinn Hughes is still very good. And he's just starting to reach his peak into what he's going to be. So and kind of, I was kind of curious, just like, how did, a couple of weeks ago, I was looking at Brent Burns' time on ice and his points and stuff like that. And I was kind of like, I wonder how he compared to, like on Evolving or on Hockey Reference, they have like the little similarity scores and like kind of how other guys' careers. And I started kind of clicking around. So other famous hockey players who you may or may not have heard of, probably have heard of, in their age 36 season. So when they were 36, one, Nicklas Lidström. So he played 80 games, had 13 goals, 49 assists for 62 points. He played 2,199 minutes that year at the age of 36. Won the Norris that year. Pretty similar.
Wouldn't be his last Norris either. He wins 2 more.
2 more after that, yes.
He wins Norris in his age 40 season, which is absurd. Also, that 62 points is not even his best season still going forward at age 36.
No, he topped it the following year, had 70.
In 76 games.
Yeah, in 76 games. So pretty much a point per player. Then he had 59, 49, 62 when he won his last Norris at the age of 40. And then he had 34 points in his age 41 when
casual 34 points at age 42.
And he was 5th in Norris voting that year. Insane.
The thing with Nick Lidstrom is you could make the case that he's the best defenseman of all time.
Yes.
And the thing with Nick Lidstrom is that up until his age 42, 41 season, Nick Lidstrom was still never out of position. Not one time. There's a wide gap between Brent Burns' play and Nick Lidstrom's play.
No, Nick Lidstrom
still shocking that Brent Burns is in this sort of realm.
So I was looking at some other guys.
Before we get there, though.
Oh, yeah, let's take a break and talk to you guys about something that I use every day.
Flashlight?
No, Athletic Greens. They are, if you're worried about your stomach health, your immune system, you want to try to get better, just more energy and better health, but you don't want to take like a bajillion vitamins. You have no idea where to start even trying to find all the vitamins. That's where Athletic Greens comes in. 1 scoop of the delicious AG1. You're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, and probiotics to help you start your day right. First thing in the morning, pop it in your water, 8 ounces of water, drink that before you have coffee. You'll feel more energy throughout the day. Their Athletic Greens has over 7,000 five-star reviews. They're recommended by professional athletes, trusted by leading health experts such as Tim Ferriss and Michael Gervais. They've also and the price, that's the big thing. You're not having to pay a bajillion dollars for all the vitamins. It costs you less than $3 a day. You're investing in your health. It's cheaper than your cold brew habit. And it's cheaper than buying all the different supplements yourself. And you're investing in all-in-one nutritional insurance. So to make it easy, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of their immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NHL Network. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/NHL Network to take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Next guy is criminally underrated all time. People forget that he's like also a top 5 defenseman.
Yes, one, Ray Bourque. So his age 36 was the 96-97 season with Boston. He played 62 games that year. 19 goals, 31 assists.
He had 50 points in 62 games. What the hell? The season before that, he had 82 points in 82 games. He was 35 years old.
Yep.
What the hell are we doing here?
Yeah. Little bit of and he was 7th in the Norris that year. His age 37 season, he had in 82 games, he played 13 goals, 35 assists, 48 points. And then
keep going, because his age 36 season is terrible compared to the end of his career.
Yeah. Age 38 season, he had 81 games. He had 10 goals, 47 assists, 57 points. This is where it actually started. You can actually see his time on ice then. He played almost 2,400 minutes during that time.
He played 29-31 a game. He was 38 years old.
Yes. His age 39 season when he was traded to Colorado at the end of the season. So combined, he played 79 games, had 18 goals, 34 assists, 52 points, played 2,100 minutes, 27 minutes a game. And then his age 40 season with Colorado, he had played 80 games, 7 goals, 52 assists, 59 points on a amazing Colorado team that year. Played 2,088 minutes, 26 minutes a game. So
he also finished 2nd in Norris voting that year,
yes.
losing only to a 30-year-old Nick Lidstrom.
just starting to hit his prime, age 30.
Just missed out.
But these are two of the
ridiculous.
These are two of the
5 best defensemen
ever played.
Like Ray Bork he won the cup obviously, but he won the Calder. Yeah. He was a 19-time All-Star, and by All-Star, not like All-Star game where the fans vote in, like end of season All-Star. He was a 19-time All-Star, 5-time Norris winner, and they won the King Clancy 1 time. Yep. This is a man that put up seasons of 95 points, 94 points, 91 points, 82 points.
So from a million shots too.
A million shots. So from 1983, 84 to 1994. So a 10-year stretch. He had 96 points, 86 points, 77, 95, 81, 61, 84, 94, 81, 82, 91. And then follow that up in 94-95 with 43 points in 46 games. And then it was a point per game after that. The dude was mental. Yes. Not somebody you should probably be modeling Brent Burns' career after, because, again, Ray Bork finished his career he was almost a point per game player as a defenseman. It's just stupid.
Yep. So some other guys here who are probably kind of in the same. So I just wanted to show his numbers are. You could kind of squint to be like, okay, I can.
I mean, he had similar points. They had similar points. The difference between Bork and Lidstrom, though, is that they went on to have better seasons afterwards.
Yes. Again, there's much better teams, et cetera, et cetera. When you're playing for cups, you're probably surrounded with much higher quality talent. Brent Burns on a team that can't score goals. Again,
that's not the Colorado Avalanche of the early 2000s.
No.
Wow.
Scott Niedermayer.
So now we're moving away from top 5 defensemen all time to merely 11th.
Yeah. So his last season was his age 36th season.
Oh, interesting.
And then he retired after that. So with Anaheim, 80 games, 10 goals, 38 assists, 48 points. So
that's a worse season than Brent Burns just put up.
Yep. Time on ice, 2,120 minutes, 26:30 night as well. So same kind of time on ice and he was 54th in Bing that year. He definitely kind of started, like, you could kind of see where with him it was starting to kind of go down with Anaheim. I feel like his end of his career is very similar. So his age 33 season, he had 79 games played, 15 goals, 54 assists, 69 points. Nice. Time on ice, 2,173 minutes.
He also won Ducks won the Stanley Cup that year, and he actually won the Conn Smythe for them, which is pretty impressive. But that was like
second Norris that year too.
Yeah, but really, it falls apart after that.
Yep. The 07-08 lockout season, 48 games, 8 goals, 17 assists, 25 points. He played 1,150 minutes, 23 minutes a game. 10th in the Norris. Age 35 season, 82 games, 14 goals, 45 assists, 59 points, 2,200 minutes, 26:55, ninth in the Norris that year. So kind of close. So, but
much closer to where Brent Burns is, where you can see like
But Brent Burns is going to be continuing to be playing us. So that,
and the problem is that, like, again, Niedermayer, like Bourque and Lidstrom were winning Norris, and Niedermayer was still finishing 9th, 10th. Burns hasn't got a Norris vote in the last 2-3 years. After he ripped off he's 21st. In 15-16, he was 3rd in Norris. Then he won in 2016-17. Then was 8th in Norris in 17-18. Then was 2nd in 18-19. Outside of that, he hasn't risen back, and I think that's the difference here. When he's putting up points, but he's really not in that all-around defenseman category that some of these guys are, which is the tough thing. He's staving it off on one end, but how much longer can he stave off? Like how much longer can Brent Burns put up points that are commensurate with these great players at their age 36 season before the points fall off and his defense now are on par?
Yeah, and so the last one we'll kind of look at too. So Chris Pronger,
10th best defenseman ever.
Yes. So his age 36 season, this is where injuries really started to hamper him. So he played 50 games, had 4. This is 2010, 2011. 50 games with the Flyers, 4 goals, 21 assists, 25 points. He played 1,100 minutes, 22-30 a night. And then his age 37 season, where he couldn't come back. He played 13 games, 1 goal, 11 assists, 12.
It's a point per game.
Point per game still. Less than 300 minutes, 22 minutes a night. But even so, before that, his first year with the Flyers, he was 82. That was the year they went to the Cup, that 2009-2010 season. 82 games, 10 goals, 45 assists, 55 points. 2,100 minutes, 25 minutes, almost 26 minutes a night. He was 5th in the Norris that year. So again, I think Burns is, we'll kind of talk about here in a second. But first, actually, let's take a break. Talk about BetOnline, Kyle.
I want to talk about Chris Pronger, who won the Hart. Crazy. He won the Hart in the Norris the same year, 99-0, which is crazy. But if you want to bet on who's going to win the Conn Smythe this year, early leader's got to be Austin Matthews if you're into that kind of thing. JD Young if you're into that kind of thing. Igor Shesterkin, probably. It's too early to tell. Lots of candidates. But you can go to betonline.net because it is your number one source for all your betting, stats, and sports info. Find all of the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's basketball playoffs, hockey playoffs, baseball just restarted. Kentucky Derby's back. You can have a mint julep. Bet on
horses.
Bet on the ponies. Footy's back.
For that new thing we invented.
Yeah, horse jockey jousting. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. You can bet on the Hawthorne Hawks, probably. All sorts of different things. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, from live betting to playoffs, esports, and more. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. BetOnline, where the game starts. Chris Pronger was ridiculous. He won the Hart.
Yes.
Just insane. What a weird career. He played 2 years at Hartford, then like 9 years in St. Louis, 1 year in Edmonton, and he dragged them to the playoffs. Then 3 years in Anaheim, 3 years in Philly, got put on Robida Island and had to retire due to injuries. I think it was like an eye injury or something like that. But
yeah. But again, it's so like we talk about like, so Burns is in these categories of these all-time greats when it comes to producing points. But the thing is that's always been Brent Burns' thing is he's not playing defense at the same level that these guys were, at the same age. And I think that's, he's still, for him to kind of, he's got 3 years left on his contract. We're assuming he wants to be a Shark for the rest of that time and stuff. So he's going to need to continue to gracefully kind of age when it comes to the offense.
Can't get much worse than this, though. I think at this is kind of like we're getting close to the little nexus point where the offense is dipping below the point where it's still valuable on his defense. And I think we're getting dangerously close to that red line.
But I think, though, the Sharks just in general just can't score points. And he's doing his part in the ability for the Sharks to score points. Look at
but what I'm saying is that he's doing his ability to score points, but if you score 2 points and give up 3, then you're negative.
That's yes. Are we doing plus minus now?
No, but like
but I'm saying if he was producing and the Sharks just had more talent around them, around him, like he was what, 3rd or 4th in the team in scoring this year. Like I think he's pulling his weight offensively. And if there was more talent around him to help, like, so he's,
if he's having this great age 36 season and he's scoring all these points, then he should be the one making everybody else better.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? Like if we look at, obviously, I'm not going to look at Bork and Lidstrom. That's insane. But even like Pronger and Niedermayer, they're making their team better. You know what I mean? Niedermayer won the Conn Smythe, similar ages. And I think Father Time is really putting the screws on Brent Burns now. There's lots of nights where we watched and we're like, what the hell is he doing? And then he rips off 2 points the next game and everybody forgets. Remember when he had that sick goal against the Minnesota Wild last year?
That was 2 years ago, yeah.
No, yeah, like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
That's far and few between now and one.
Yeah, you see those flashes
goal.
of him, But I think also too of him having to play 1,000 minutes a night because the coaching staff doesn't trust any other defenseman to go out there in any and there's basically in any situation, unless the game is so lopsided in one side or the other, where it's like, okay, I guess now we'll play. So we saw remember that stretch kind of after the trade deadline where they're like kind of bumping his minutes down to like 23 minutes a night. I think if he's in that's kind of like that window with him, where if you can get him at 23, 24 minutes a night, where we can kind of see him play up to his abilities and not being overly used and overly taxed, because he can't continue to play 100 minutes a season and 26, 27 minutes a night every night. And I know there was that stretch in the middle of the year or beginning of the season with the Charcuterie and him and Mario Ferraro. There's that picture of him and Ferraro just bent over on their knees at one point because they're having to play 35 minutes a night. But so I think like if Bugner or whoever the coaching staff is can like really be like, okay, dude, 24 minutes, 25, we got to break glass in case of emergency type of feel with him.
Even if you
like,
get him down to 23.
Yeah. And like and then you got to find him the right partner. And I think that's been the biggest thing that ever since Paul Martin, that since he's your favorite, the prime minister.
But then people talk about Brent Burns with this Norris winner and how good he is and blah, 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 blah. He should be less dependent on having the exact bubble boy situation that he needs to succeed. It's kind of where I'm at. And that's as fair. He gets older, it's going to be harder and harder to do that. Do you think next season we see a big drop off, a little drop off, maybe a bounce back? Like he's 37. He's not going to be effective anymore when
I think it's going to be I think it'll just be a gradual decline. I don't think we're going to see a cliff with him. I know he takes care of his body, et cetera, but like, I don't think we're going to see the Vlasic cliff where it's just like, oh my God, like where he's playing, like you can't put him out there for more than 15 minutes. I think it's going to be a very, very gradual, so it's like, okay, this year he almost had 60 points. Then maybe it's like he's covering closer to 50 and then 45 type of thing. So, and you kind of hope that, and then like Karlsson can get back to playing more than 50 games, and then Ryan Merkley can kind of take more of the load, or whoever they can help find it to help supplement him. But yeah, I think the way he's such a freak athletically, and just the way he's so meticulous with his body and how much time and effort he puts into it, I don't think we're going to see like the huge just falling off the cliff. I think it'll be a very gradual. And if you get that, I think that you're perfectly happy with that.
At least it's only 3 more seasons.
Yeah,
at $8 million, and there is the world where
not like Vlasic where it's yeah.
There is the world too where he says, I want to go play for a contender, and the last 2 seasons he goes away. So
yep,
it's tough. The Sharks really got to have their fingers crossed that this is the floor of what they're getting for the next few years.
What do you think? I mean, how do you think the last 3 seasons go with the Sharks or the Sharks are just in his career? Because I assume this is it, the last these 3 seasons, because he's gonna be 40 by then.
Yeah. I'm less high on him than you are. I think he's a really big hindrance on defense. But let's see. Let me look him up. Let me look here. So he had 54 points. It's definitely his best season in a little while. Honestly, I think maybe he puts up like 50, 49 next year, 48, depending on how good the Sharks are. And then I think I think the next 3 seasons, it's like around that 50 mark, low 40s again, or like I think he's always going to get points, some sort of pointage, but kind of agree where it might be a gradual drop off on offense, but man, that defense is suspect.
Yeah.
If he can just tread water at defense a little bit more, they're still going to get some value out of him. And he's not, I mean, it's $8 million, but you pay for those previous years. It's just, how many guys can you pay a lot of money that aren't giving it to you? And I think he's the one guy that they're hoping that, or one of the couple guys that they're hoping that he gives you something of that $8 million. You recoup some of that money in value. But I think it's getting tougher and tougher, especially if he's playing the minutes that he's playing. He needs to ease up on the minutes, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Yeah. He's defied aging logic so far. So it's crazy. What?
I was going to say, I'm now on long-term IR after just doing 3 podcasts in a row.
You're going to be on long-time IR after Legoland. You're going to have like a carpal tunnel. If you'd like to discuss...
You don't just sit there and build Legos the whole time. You're like on rides and stuff. But
I don't know what Legoland is.
Anyway.
I assumed you were building Legos. Lego sand. Everything's Lego. You have to wear Lego.
Their forks are Lego.
Yeah. Oh, man, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you'd like to talk about the Brontosaurus on the internet, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Locked On Sharks, YouTube, Locked On Sharks, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Locked On Sharks, LockedOnSharks@gmail.com. JD, firmly back from Legoland, recuperating, dreaming about Lego. Is that my fry hole?
Kyle, slightly jealous of my Legos. Is that Kyle Demetrius?
Sure.
Thank you guys for making us your first Sharks listen. We'll be back tomorrow for Friday with something. We have a week Kyle, we have a whole week to come up with something. So we do.
It's nice.
Thursday afternoon, we're like, what do you want to talk about?
100% how it's going down. So
yes. Thank you guys for making us your first listen. Go check out the Locked On NHL show, especially with the playoffs going on. Again, I can't believe that happened last night, or that didn't happen last night.
Crazy outcome.
Those idiots in Congress did it again.
No, it's clowns. Those guys in Congress did it again. What a bunch of clowns. Wow, how does he come up with this stuff?
It's so witty and relevant. And if you don't want to listen to the Locked On NHL, go check out one of the other shows on the Locked On Network, such as
Locked On Pacers.
Bye, friends.
Indiana is a waste of a state.
Ouch.